Okay. So you can
Okay,
start. You
good.
can start the questions. And I already talk about that this is not about things that we want people to, how to say, to just think that we are telling people what to do. We're learning and we're sharing what we have realized. And especially, I'm sharing the things that I have learned from my quantum healing hypnosis. So Tina will be the one who started talking, not talking. She will be asking questions and or things that she might disagree with me. You can start.
Okay, so the first question that I have is regarding relationships. And I think that's a really, really big topic that discuss for a long time. And the first question that I have is, what if I like a person, but he or she doesn't like me back? What should I do in that case?
Hmm. Okay. Um, Yeah, this is not a easy thing for us to figure it out. Um, and again, this Q&A, we did not prepare. So we like to allow our higher selves to come out. So we're not saying things from our mind. So if, right, let's say one person started feeling, right, certain energies from the other person, or the person just feel um, right, there is some sort of feeling towards the other person, but the other person does not feel that way, right? So our reality is not something that is external. Everything is a reflection of the relationship that you have with yourself, that is, right, creating the reality you like to experience. So let's say, right, you, because you want to know how you respond to this, so you can create the reality that, right, the other person is not responding the way that you prefer. Yeah, so that can be the lesson. But why we want to create that is because, right, this is something new, let's say, or something that you haven't learned from the previous experience. So you're learning the same experience again, or you're experiencing something new.
Then how do we know if this is, something that I need to learn to, be rejected, or I should express myself um, better or more confidently? Um, how do I know what to do?
Yeah. And so, right, because this reality, your reality, is always, no exception, is always created by you, by how you feel about yourself. So this yourself is all that is the universe, is the source energy, because you are source energy. So your reality is a mirror of how you understand who you truly are. Yeah. So let's say because of that, because of that, we can come up with a conclusion that it doesn't matter how that person acts or reacts. Let's say if you initiate this connection and express
Mm.
yourself, yeah. So let's say you are saying, I like you. I enjoy spending time with you. So, yes, you can say, I don't know what that person will say, but does that matter? The only thing matters is, are you expressing who you truly are? Are you really, right, saying the words from how you feel about yourself or that person? You're expressing your true self, not, not expressing something that you think you should express yourself in certain way. There's a difference, right? So how we need to express ourselves is more important than, right, what I'm going to talk about the next thing, because we are very, very much into how that person will respond. But how that person respond is not important, because it's you are creating this, creating, shifting to a certain reality that he is your version of him. So how, in a way, how he reacts, responds, this all depends on how you are going to express yourself in an authentic way. So what I'm going to say next is, if you do express yourself in an authentic way, what will happen? Tina, you want to answer, or
Um, then I will shift into a reality where he is the version that I prefer.
yes?
Mm.
It's not almost, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed, because there's no other way.
But then, like, I feel like if I stand in front of him, I cannot say those words, you know.
Then you are,
I just cannot.
okay, I understand. That's a different, right, scenario, right? We're saying if we do,
Mm.
okay? But if we cannot, what does that mean, right? We need to not to think about it, but feel, what am I afraid of?
Mm.
What is that? Is usually I'm afraid to be rejected, right? What else can be, right?
Yeah, like what others think of me.
What that person you probably care the most is that person,
Oh.
right? So see, that is not how we take actions. So because I talk to higher beings, right, higher selves, spirit guides, right, other spiritual beings, right, they're all saying, or including spiritual masters like Jesus or Buddha, they're talking about the same thing, because truth is only one, right? You can talk about the truth in a little bit different way, but the concept is the same. If, let's say, right, the person who is going to say, confessed, right, that I like you, let's say this person is, it doesn't matter, it's male or female, right? Let's say this person is not really compatible with that person, the other person, let's say, right? Physically, right? Whatever, right? Or age wise, whatever that it is. If she, let's say, right, this person is a female, if she or he, it doesn't matter, if this person who's going to confess is doing, right, is expressing the way that who she or he truly is, then no matter how incompatible they are, this person will find one version of that person. Find is not a very good word. Is the person, right? This one will shift to a reality. That person will act the way this initiator prefers. That's simple.
So then what if I get rejected where he still doesn't like me after I
So
did all of those?
if that happens, I know this sounds very not like the truth, right? I'm sure people will say I disagree because I really told that person how I feel, but the person rejected me. And if, right, let's say whatever I'm going to say is not something can make you feel is the truth, and feel free to contact me, us, right, to do either hypnosis session, right, just regarding this part, or hypnochanneling. If you believe that, right, you can be how to say this truth can be disclosed by another person, right? Let's say I hypnotize Tina, and then we can do the hypnochanneling to channel this person's higher self, right? If you believe that, feel free to contact us and let's find out the truth, right? Of course, you always can say, I don't believe any of those. That is okay, right? That's why we're here in this physical reality to believe and feel this reality is so solid, so like, right? I don't believe anything if I can, you cannot prove, right, prove me that is true. But how can you prove you are you? I will say that, right? You can show the ID, but why we have sometimes different personalities, right? We can act differently, depends on the situation or who you're dealing with. So which one is you? Which one is the true self of you? Right? Okay,
Well,
so let's not talk about this, right? But let's say, oh, I forgot what I'm gonna say. So if that person rejected you, but you feel you are telling the truth, okay, then I would say, yes, you're saying the truth. However, when you are expressing yourself, you are still having or carrying certain beliefs that you are saying to yourself, I don't believe he's going to accept me. That.
mhm.
That is the reason. You are seeing the result that is not something you prefer. But you can say, no, that's not true. I did not have any fear. I really believed. Yeah. Okay, so let's say if that's the case, it's maybe that moment, but not the next moment, or not the moment before, or not even in that moment. Is you believed, but there's also disbelief in it as well. You might not be aware. That's always the reason. Because the reality, right, is not like when I say you shift to certain reality, it sounds like this is some sort of psychic ability. No, this is just physics of how things work or how energies work. It's always this way. It never changes. Your reality cannot be something that another person or other people created for you, or how to say, even affecting your reality. Let's say your reality is your reality. It's not being affected by other people. But if it does not happen the way that you desire, it's because you are not truly being who you truly are. So your relationship with yourself Or you can say you don't truly trust this fact, this truth. So your reality will be, right, certain reality according to your belief, according, right, like related, like relevant reality to tell you, see, this is what you're creating. But, right, that is always also telling you that you can change it by improving your relationship with your true self.
So how do I improve my relationship with myself?
Very good. Very good. Every word you say, every action you take, not because you believe that is good for you or other people, or how to say, you believe, right? What other people are doing is what you are supposed to do. Or if the other person achieves something, that you say, I can use the same way to achieve that. So just forget about all those, right? And you're doing anything. Let's say you're going to a coffee shop. That action is really because at that moment you feel that's what I like to do. There's nothing else makes me feel more excited than that. If there's something else is more exciting, then you choose that. You choose,
Yeah.
yeah. And that is. And so we can be aware of everything we do, everything we choose to do, or everything we choose not to do. Then you will know what excites you at any moment. It doesn't have to be something you need to jump up and down, feel that excited. It's just this is my, right, the most, how to say, things that I prefer to do at this moment. This is the thing. No other things can be, right, something that I desire more. It can be very little small thing. That.
Mm. What if I want to do, like, I have a lot of options and I don't really know which one to choose?
Then you really think about these 5 different options and find the one that excites you the most.
I guess based on my gut feelings then.
Yes. No. Oh, I think this one is better for me. No such thing. Yeah, we definitely
Oh,
can make the judgment or the decision, right? Let's say
okay.
you might say, oh, today I want to try Japanese food, but maybe Thai food, maybe Malaysian food, right? Maybe Turkish. And then you think again. You think like you feel again and say, worst case, right? Let's say it's 2 things, right? Either A or B. You can flip a coin. It sounds very silly. No. Let's say they're really equally, right? Then you do that.
Okay. Mm.
So
Okay.
we can take some time, right? Before we take actions or say certain words, not to think, to feel again.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you mean if I, act on always who I am at every single moment, then when I'm interacting with him, even though, like, at this moment he doesn't like me,
Right.
then you mean I will create
Now
a
create.
reality that he will like me?
Yeah. You can say create it, right? I just prefer to say shift. You shift to another version, your version of him or her.
Mm.
The same person, you will see miracle happens. It's like this person does not remember what happened before. It's not that that person does not remember. Okay, again, your reality, right? So your version of this person has very little to do with his or her version of themselves,
How does that work?
because that person is doing, right, experiencing the same way, right? So everyone, right, just imagine 8 billion people are shifting to their version of this universe, of this world.
So, for example, me and you, we are seeing different realities right now.
Yes, right
I'm
now.
in mine and you're in yours.
Yes, yes. But I wouldn't know how you see me as your version of me. I wouldn't know. And I don't need to know.
Mm. So you can say it doesn't matter for you what I think of you because you can always shift into a version of me that you prefer.
Yes.
Mm.
And, right, another way to say this is I will never know, no matter how much I want to, I will never know, right, your version of me. You can tell me, but the words are not the same, right? We cannot always, right, describe our true feelings, right? So you can describe, maybe that's the only possibility that I can know a little bit how you, right, what's your version of me. But I don't need to know because that does not change my version of you.
Mm. So the person I'm talking to right now is a reflection of me. So I'm not really talking to like the real you, or there's no real you because
Right.
it's like you exist and everybody's versions.
Yes. This is almost the biggest secret of human life.
Mm.
But, sometimes I imagine this way, right? So we are all in individual rooms, let's say, in a building, right? The
Mm.
8 billion people, right? And the room, how to say, the walls are glass walls. No, not glass. Um, Translucent, kind of translucent.
Okay.
So translucent means I can see a shadow of you, right? But not like I cannot really see your face. Let's say you're my neighbor, yeah. Let's say if I take off my clothes, you can see the outline of my body, right? But you still cannot see clearly. So that's how I feel, right? You can use this analogy. So my version of you
Mm.
is not that. It's not what I see the outline of you. My version of you is, right, I, because you come to my this analogy maybe is not the best. See, see, because we don't have even a way to describe this
Mm.
in a human, how to say, words, expressions, right? um that's why it's hard. We cannot even use analogy.
Yeah. Can I draw something? Maybe I'll open a whiteboard.
Yeah, yeah,
Um.
do that. I know you're talking about overlapping, right?
Mm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can see the whiteboard, right?
Hmm.
So like if this is me and this is you, like, okay, and then, like, for example, this is my consciousness,
Yeah.
and then, let me change the color, and then, for example, this is you, so I see you in my circle, and then you are in your own circle, and then you perceive me, this me, in your circle. So if this is A, this is like A prime, like another version of me, and then this would be B prime, right? Is it like that?
I feel I'm kind of confused because I can understand what you're doing, but I still don't really understand, right? My version of you versus your version of yourself.
Yeah, so like, for example, this is me. I'm talking to you as B prime right now. But then, like, whatever version I manifest of you doesn't change this original one. Right? You are still here. So I change whatever I change of B because I create my reality. So it doesn't change you. And
Right.
however I change over here, this is also not affected.
Yeah, you can use this way, right? But I think we can imagine, we just imagine, right? That that your version of yourself is something right next door, right? So let's say, can you now move right now?
Yeah.
So my version of you, right, is how I see you in my room. My room is my reality. Okay, so my version of you is my reality. I see you, right? I see you clearly, right? But I see other people as well. This is the same way, right? It doesn't matter how many people. But then your version of yourself is next door. I just cannot see that, no matter how much I want to. And I don't need to. My mind might say you need to see the true version or her version of herself. But then I would say, you know what? It doesn't matter because, right? I only can perceive, right? My reality. Because my reality is my world. It's not, right? Just partial of the world. It's everything. Everyone on the street, right? People are in the stores, right? At the airport, or in my class, or my workplace. Every single one can only be my version of them, no other way. And if I don't have good relationship with them, with anyone, my boss, my mom, see, is because I have a certain part of me inside of me, deep inside of me, that I don't like it. Let's say, I don't know, it can be anything. I don't think I'm smart enough. So if there's a part of me I feel I'm not smart enough, and that will definitely be right reflected as part of my reality. There's a people, there's someone who thinks faster than me, and every time I look at that person, I don't feel good. I feel, see, I'm not that smart. So in a way, that person is someone you borrowed or you shifted to. Um, uh, yeah, sorry, I'm just very focused. So anything can make me forget what I'm saying, right? So that person is someone you decide to experience. Of course, not consciously, on the soul level. Yeah. Or someone that I have feeling towards, but I feel shy. I cannot express well. It's because inside of me, there's a part of me that I don't think I'm good enough to be accepted, especially by someone, right? I care. Yeah, but I don't know if you want to. Yeah, and you can, yeah, make the screen bigger. Stop
Oh yeah.
sharing.
I'll carry forward first.
Oh, maybe I pushed the wrong button. I'm not sure if we're still sharing. Oh, we don't need to share right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let me check YouTube for now. Oh wait, it ended the sharing?
Okay. No, no, no. Just continue.
Hmm. So I guess for so like in that case, if I don't see, if I experience something that I don't prefer, then it is something I haven't resolved within myself.
Yes, always.
It's always like about me, not about the other person,
Right.
what the other person do.
And this is we might have to spend entire life, or you can say that's one of the purpose of this human experience is to realize that we are here experiencing ourselves, who we truly are.
Mhm.
Who we truly are is we can create anything. So we need to remember our power.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, but like how, yeah, like how do I, so maybe I need to try it out first. Um, have that mindset of I am the creator
Mm,
and I can always
mm.
say shift my reality
Yes.
into something that I prefer.
Yes. And if
Mm.
you don't see that is happening, keep
Mm.
changing. Changing what? How you believe yourself. How much you believe yourself. Let's say, yes, of course, we cannot do everything. I'm not saying right? We will be able to do anything at this moment. But, right, we have potential. Or another way to say, if you truly believe you can do something, you really can. You don't even need to spend years to adapt, adapt that skill. But you can. You can learn. Let's say, if someone says, okay, so I want to be a ballerina, but I think it's too late.
Oh, mm.
Try. But you have to really like it. If you're doing it and then you keep telling yourself, this is not for me, this is too late, my body cannot, right, be that flexible,
Mm.
then you will see that because you shifted to that reality. And
Okay. Mm.
did we do anything in our life, right, that you did not believe you could do it? but you did. We all have that, right? And you can say that it was because the effort, not because of the belief. Okay. But what is first? You wouldn't put effort if you don't truly believe you can do it. Yeah.
Wait, you said we all kind of did something that we didn't believe I can accomplish.
You,
So how does that work?
okay, very good. You did not believe, right? First, you look at it. Let's say I took martial arts, right? I look at it when I started in this taekwondo, right? I know if I get higher belt, I will need to do the 360 backswing, right? And I look at it, when other people are doing, I said, no way. There's no way I can do that. I'm not doing that. And nobody is gonna force me to do that. If that's the case, I'll quit, right? And guess what? Right? After years of practice, not the years, maybe 3 years, right? I could do it. So, what happened? I did not believe it, right? But then think about it. How can I put effort when I'm putting effort? That must be a lot of beliefs in it, right? Because I wouldn't put effort if I really don't believe it. So, right, we're changing all the time, right? So from total, right, disbelief to maybe, right? That's why I will put effort. If you truly don't believe it, you will not. You will not take that action, right? So
So
it's
you mean we can
so we're
believe and not believe?
yeah, of course we do that all the time. Otherwise, there's no change. There's no improvement. There's no growth, right? How anyone, let's say, if you open a company, if you started doing your own business, does anyone from day one just truly believe? Very few, right? So we don't have to think about this. It's always true, right? You somehow you feel, let me try. I might fail. Right? Let me see. That's always the case. So what I'm trying to say is it's always the consciousness first. This consciousness creates everything. So we don't have to know this too much because of what is consciousness. We have to talk about that, right? But I'm saying it's not the action. Um, Maybe this is not something we know that well, but it's something you have to feel first. That you have to feel. Maybe I can do it. And where is that coming from? Not from your mind. We think it's from the mind. It's a feeling. It's a belief. Yeah. So that make us do anything or not to do anything. Okay, then you say, I can believe something, then I try. So it's a belief. Okay, yes, we can have positive beliefs.
Yeah. Mm. Those positive beliefs would like serve us.
Right. It's not that we should have no beliefs, right? In the physical world, we need beliefs. Beliefs is not a negative word. Yeah. We need some beliefs, but we don't need that many.
So like to create a reality that we prefer, to shift into a reality that we prefer,
Mm.
um, right? Do we have to 100% trust that?
The more you trust, right? Because that is making you shift to certain reality. That's what I tried to say, earlier, right? Before you asked me this question.
Right? Any kind of like, you can like have trust, have
Okay, hold on.
distrust.
I forgot to add this, right?
Yeah.
So how you believe, how much you believe is what? Is how what type of relationship you have with yourself. Because you believe what? You believe yourself, right? You can say, so you believe your true self. So that is showing the relationship between you and your authentic self.
Yeah. So everything is okay. Like, if I distrust, then it means I distrust half of myself, and then I will create a reality where it could happen, it may not happen.
Right.
Very unstable.
Right. Exactly. It's all because of us. So let's say, right? We can talk about this maybe many times because it's such unfamiliar concept to most people, myself included, right? I'm still learning. I can say this, right, all day does not mean every time I can do it. And why? Because it's very hard for me to believe, right, I can do anything. Because that's what we're trained in this society, the opposite.
Yeah. We grow up kind of with a lot of limitations. People telling us what you cannot do or what not to do. And then we believe in that, believe
Right.
in those words.
And it's very easy to believe that. Then, right, believe yourself is everything. So you can do everything. You see? It's easier to believe that we are limited. And then, right, because if I say I'm limited, limited, right, I can do certain things, but a lot of things I cannot do. So why that that belief we like to carry?
Yeah, yeah.
What,
Why do
why?
we like to think that?
Because it's easier in a way that I can make a lot of excuses and say, see, I'm not doing that, right? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing because I'm not that good. It's give us this excuse or way for us to say, that's why, look, don't blame me. Don't, right? That we always do things because we benefit from it. Or at least we believe, right? We think there's some benefit. If there's no benefit, we will never choose to do because no, it's just right. Our human mind will say, no, you get nothing out of this, but we believe we get something out of it. Yeah,
Okay.
and so we can
That makes sense.
relax and say, I'm not doing that because look, I'm not that good, right? Maybe you can do, but I cannot. Okay, so let's say if this belief, right, give us excuses, that's the beneficial part. But what's the downside?
Like I limit and
So,
what I can do.
okay, but what else? What else will not serve us?
I cannot be who I truly am. with while carrying those beliefs.
Okay, yes, but what is that something that I would not prefer?
Yeah.
There's something else. Okay, you can have all the excuses, right? And say, that's how I'm not doing. That's why I'm not doing anything. Okay, but what's the downside? It's huge. If you only do this once, but if you do this all the time, you always give yourself excuses, then what will happen? So it shows you have very poor relationship with your true self. Your true self is all that is. So your true self, in a way, will be very frustrated because the true self is in omnipotent. Yeah. So the true self will be saying, "Why you're doing this to me? I'm capable to do anything, but you limit me." So the downside is you are now going to feel good. I'm not going to feel good. So that's why, right, it took me a long time to understand why people, I have blockage. I'm stuck. To do that. I almost can say if someone tells me I'm stuck, it's because the person keeps limiting themselves. Not once, many times.
I see.
So the true self is crying, screaming, right? Frustrated. The true self will be saying, no, that's not true. You did not even try. Try me. Try me. Right? Like we have those products. Try me. Yeah, so I think we can talk about this another time. Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for today.
No, yeah, thank you for right, definitely listening to this. And it's not something we cannot do. It's not something that we have to put a lot of effort. Maybe we can talk about that. Why
Okay.
you don't need to put effort